No problems for Florida State. We don't anticipate this Saturday, but let's see what Gene Williams, Tom Lang, Corey Clark, Matt Lasser, our crew over at Warchant.com think about this one.
What's up, everyone? I'm here watching your favorite football team practice in the middle of the week. I think I've seen enough. I'm predicting the Noles to win. It's a road game. They're favored by 20. I feel like that's a good number. Wake can give them problems because they always do, but I just think Florida State's too talented, and also Wake's offense would have to play its best game by far to be in this game in the fourth quarter, and I don't see that happening against Florida State. So I'm going to say Noles 33, Wake Forest 14. You heard it here first, so bet accordingly.
Stop me if you've heard this one before. Florida State is playing a conference opponent that has a lackluster offense, but a pretty game defense. Sounds a lot like Virginia Tech, sounds a lot like Syracuse, and I think that Florida State's margin of victory, the final score of this game, is going to mirror those two, in that the defense isn't going to give up a ton, and the offense, even though it might have some inconsistent moments, is going to win the day and produce by the end of the four quarters. So, what does that mean? Florida State, I think, wins this ball game by a final score of 42-10. 42-10. The hill hath been taken back.
First off, I want to say I don't think Florida State's on upset watch at all, like Herb Street said earlier this week. I just don't see it happening. I think Florida State, for the first time in 3 years, will finally beat Wake Forest. There's no Sam Hartman. Obviously, the obvious big pieces are gone, but it's still the same offensive scheme, which makes it a little tricky. But I do think this defense is more well-prepared for it. And since they've seen it before, I think that will work in their favor heavily. I do think that Keon Coleman will have a big day. I would take all of his overs wherever you can find them as soon as you can. Yeah, I'll go with score prediction. We'll go 37-14.
Knock on wood, we've been pretty good on these, everybody. We've been picking winners every single week. Let's see if we can continue the good vibes here, Jeff. It's going to be a noon game. You're going to be hanging out with Tom Lang at 11 o'clock, getting everybody ready for the pregame show. Tune in for that one, Warchant TV. Subscribe, hit the thumbs up and all that kind of stuff. Noon game, ABC national telecast for Florida State. What do you think happens for the Noles taking on Wake Forest in another game that helps them cement their status here atop the ACC?
Before I pick, I want to say and add to the praise of your efforts as an ad man for Cummins, because I'll tell you, I want to buy an SUV just so I can get a Cummins and go and hang out and tailgate and meet up with Ira and Corey up in Winston-Salem. Damn it, man. That's a sell. I like it. You've got me sold. As far as Florida State goes, I like Florida State to take care of business. I do get nervous because of all of the ghosts, as Ira alluded to. I don't see how this happens again. When I look at Wake Forest, and I did this morning in preparation for this and also the show this afternoon, and I thought, I just don't see it. I don't know how it happens. You'd have to really be silly with the football and get some bad, breaks there, but that's kind of what happens up there sometimes. So cross your fingers, nothing weird happens. And if it doesn't, I like Florida State to win the game 38-14.
We'll take that. It's on the cover bus as well, as the kids like to say. What about you, Ira? You've been out there at practice every single day, getting a feel for things. How do you think Florida State comes out and finishes on Saturday?
Yeah, like I alluded to earlier, I do think the offense is going to probably just be a little bit of just some hit or miss. I just don't feel like it's going to be a game where they're clean, moving up and down the field. I don't think they're going to cover. I think I'm going to pick Florida State 27-10. I think it's just going to feel like not that necessarily threatened at any point necessarily where you think they're going to lose, but where Wake Forest is kind of hanging around. I do think you touched on it very early about, does Wake have any kind of, do they find something offensively? I do feel like I feel like that team's going to have some confidence about themselves, even though they've struggled this year, because they have had so much success against Florida State. I think they believe Dave Clawson is the wizard, and he knows how to beat Florida State. And so I think they're going to come in with some confidence and play probably better maybe than they have at times. But I think Florida State's going to win, just not cover. So I'll go 27-10.
Nothing like a big win over Pitt to cleanse the palate, huh, Jeff? Watch out.
They're believers now, guys. They're believers now.
I like this. I'm going 37-10. 37-10. I think the offense will find its way, find its rhythm. They put up close to that against Boston College. And I think they've made progress since then. And just that offense. They don't know who the quarterback is going to be. Maybe they do, but they're playing that game, so it almost feels like they're losing when they're having to do that kind of stuff. And that offensive line, one of their tackle spots, pretty pretty lean. Feel like Jared Verge could maybe nom, get some numbers, get some pressure numbers, get the PFF number up there for us.
At what point will the three of us text each other when it's 10-10 midway through the third?